Panzer Brigade 150 was a special unit of the German army created as a part of the preparation for the offensive through the Ardennes. It was tasked with the capture of vital bridges on the Meuse River, and it was unusual in that it was formed from all parts of the German armed forces. The commander of the brigade was Otto Skorzenyi, who was involved in a number of special operations, including the Gran Sasso raid, which rescued Benito Mussolini from captivity. The timing of the offensive meant that Skorzenyi had only a few weeks to recruit and train a brand new unit. The brigade is known for including English-speaking members wearing US Army uniforms to cause disruption behind the American lines, and for some captured Allied equipment, including 2 Sherman tanks which eventually didn't see action due to mechanical problems, and German tanks which were modified to resemble Allied armored vehicles. Skorzenyi had to use 5 Panther tanks and 5 Sturmgeschütz 3 assault guns and some armored cars as German substitutes. The historians tend to focus on the approximately 150 English-speaking German soldiers of the unit. According to Skorzenyi, 44 English-speaking German soldiers were sent through American lines, of which 36 returned, performing reconnaissance and various sabotage operations. The actual actions carried out by these units are not clear. However, the psychological impact was significant. Because Allied intelligence was aware of the unit's existence but not its size, American units became paranoid. There were many reports of suspicious activity, most of which were only rumors. Finally, 18 German soldiers were executed by the firing squad. The reason why this number is greater than the 8 soldiers claimed lost by Skorzenyi might be that German soldiers often used captured US equipment, being mistaken for soldiers of the German special unit, or that Skorzenyi was exaggerating his claims. Because of the previously mentioned shortages, German vehicles were painted in US olive drab with Allied markings. The brigade's 5 Panther tanks were disguised as M10 tank destroyers by removing their cupolas and disguising their hulls and turrets with thin sheet metal. The Sturmgeschütz 3 assault guns were intended to look like M7 Priest self-propelled guns. The problem of recognition by their own forces was crucial, and they were to identify themselves by various methods. For example, displaying a small yellow triangle at the rear of their vehicles, or tanks keeping their guns pointing in the 9 o'clock position, or troops wearing pink scarves and removing their helmets and flashes from a blue or red torch at night. It was not until the 10th of December of 1944 that Skorzenyi's own battalion commanders were made aware of the brigade's true plans to capture bridges over the Meuse River before they could be destroyed. The 3 task forces, Kampfgruppe X, Y and Z, would move towards the separate bridges. But nothing went according to the plan. The 3 Kampfgruppen became entangled in the traffic jams on the narrow roads of the Ardennes on the first day of the offensive. As a result, they were unable to make it to the front at this specified time. Being delayed, the plan of advancing ahead of the German army was dropped, and the Panzer Brigade 150 was changed to a regular unit under the command of the 1st SS Panzer Division. The brigade was ordered to clear the roadblock at Malmedy. This roadblock had originally been held only by the 291st Engineer Combat Battalion, but by the time the Panzer Brigade 150 attacked, the 30th US Infantry Division had moved up and reinforced the roadblock. Unaware that it was greatly outnumbered, the Panzer Brigade attacked on the morning of the 21st of December 1944. The roadblock had been alerted by a deserter, so the brigade was unable to penetrate and was ultimately forced to retreat. The German unit suffered heavy casualties. As the fog lifted, US artillery began to shell the area, forcing the German unit to disengage and slowly retreat. Panzer Brigade 150 remained at the front until the 28th of December, but did not again try to capture Malmedy. After returning from the front, its soldiers were returned to their original units. Otto Skorzenyi was charged in 1947 with breaching the 1907 Hague Convention, but was acquitted after a former British SOE agent, Joe Thomas, testified that he and his operatives had been prepared to open fire while wearing German uniforms behind enemy lines. Skorzenyi escaped from an internment camp in 1948, hiding out on a farm as well as in Salzburg and Paris before eventually settling in Spain. Later, he became an advisor to Argentinian President Juan Perón. Finally, Skorzenyi died of lung cancer on the 5th of July 1975 in Madrid at the age of 67.